guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about olive skin tone. So for the past couple of years, the number one question I always get is, Eunice, is that your natural skin color? Are you naturally tan? Do you always go tanning? Do you swim a lot? So yes, I am naturally tan. This is my natural skin tone. And I've always thought that I had a warm undertone, but only recently I found out that I'm actually an olive skin tone. I did a photo shoot and I asked the makeup artist, what skin tone do I have? Because sometimes I feel very golden and tan, but then other times in different lighting, I look very grey and I don't really know what works for me. So she said, oh actually you don't really have a yellow skin tone, you actually have an olive skin tone, you're quite green. And I'm like, green? So I went home and did a bit of research to find out what that means, and I found out a lot of things that I would like to share with you guys if you have olive skin tone. So yeah, it may be beneficial to you if your skin tone is like mine, but if it's not, then this video may be irrelevant. But if you would like to watch, then just keep on watching. So having an olive skin tone or olive undertone does not necessarily mean that you have to be tan or brown skin like me. Actually, you can be pale with an olive skin tone or you can be really dark with an olive skin tone. But generally, if you have an olive skin tone and when you buy foundation, you usually buy the shade that is neutral. So first of all, how do I find out what sort of skin tone do I have? Okay, so there are a couple of ways to find out what sort of skin tone you have, and the main one that I'm sure you guys have heard a thousand of times, yeah, is to look at your wrist. And if your veins look green, then you're more likely to have a warm skin tone. But if they're blue, then you're more likely to have a cool skin tone, and I have both, which is really confusing. Another way to find out is to see what sort of jewelry works best on your skin tone. A general rule is that if you have cool skin tone, then silver will look better on you. But if you have a warm skin tone, then gold will look better on you. And that is why the Kardashians are always wearing gold, because they have warm, like golden skin tone, and that's why they're always wearing gold and it looks great on them. I have neutral skin tone, so I can wear both silver and gold, but because I'm tan, I think gold kind of looks better, and that's why I'm always wearing like gold necklaces. There are also many different ways to find out what sort of skin tone you are, but those are the main two that I think is more than enough to help you find out what sort of skin tone you have. Okay, so back to having an olive skin tone. So when you have an olive skin tone like I do, you find that, I mean, I have makeup on right now, so it's a bit hard to see, but when I'm completely barefaced, you can totally tell that I have like a green tint or like a grey overcast on my skin. And I don't really know how to feel about that because I don't really want to look green. So generally, people with olive skin tone have naturally tan skin like I do. So it all like freaking made sense to me all of a sudden when I found out about this. So yeah, it kind of helps because I used to think that because of the grey overcast, right, I used to think that my skin is just dull and it needs some sort of treatment. But no, it's just a naturally occurring thing that's happening to my body. Now, another characteristic of having olive skin tone is that you tan fairly well and you don't really get sunburn. Now, this is all from the internet, okay? But from my experience, I do get sunburns, but not as much as I get tan really fast. And I mean really fast. Like 5 minutes in the sun and you're just boom, tan, like as if you went tanning for like 3 hours. Because of this, there is also a downside. People with olive skin tone are at a higher risk of getting hyperpigmentation. If you don't have any protection on your skin whatsoever, you will start to see dark spots forming. And I already started to see dark spots forming on my skin and it's freaking me out. And hyperpigmentation is a process where the dark spots just get worse over time. So as you age, the dark spots get more prominent and it looks like freckles, but it's not as cute. So just look at my arm right here. This is not my birthmark. So I used to go tanning a lot back in secondary school, like a lot, like almost every day for a few months. And I didn't use any sunscreen, any protection whatsoever. And I didn't get burnt. And I guess that's because of my genetics and because of my DNA, my olive skin undertone. So I didn't get burnt, but I do get tan very fast. I got really tan at a point of time. And I guess this is one of the reactions my skin had with the sun. This is basically sun damage. And this is probably hyperpigmentation, not birthmark, not cool. Okay, another thing that says here is that if you have olive skin tone, you tend to have oily skin. Now we don't know how far that is true, but in my case, it is true. I do have oily skin. And then it also says you tend to get discoloration. Yup. Yup. See, just look at my face, okay? My forehead is just significantly darker than the rest of my face, and I've been told about that a lot of times by various makeup artists. Point is, I don't really get sunburn, but I do get discoloration and I get tan very fast. Okay, moving on to the fun part. What makeup works best for olive skin tone? Makeup is always the fun part. Okay, so I can't tell you what foundation to use if you have olive skin tone because it really depends on your shade as well, how tan you are, how fair you are, how dark you are. So the best way is to go into Sephora, MAC, Makeup Forever, any makeup store and do a color match. But if you must know what sort of foundations I use, then here is a list of them. Okay, finished? Now, moving on to blushes. So this is what the internet says and it's so true. You have to try and stay away from really pink blushes because it just looks, I don't know, it just looks weird on my skin. Like, I don't know, it just looks so artificial. I just like a more natural flush. And I find that the best blusher to use for olive skin tone is a warm peach. The blusher that I'm using right now is the NYX Professional Makeup Away We Glow Summer Reflection Blusher. This is my favorite. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be more of like an illuminating powder, but I use it as a blusher and it's just so pretty. Look at that. It's just a very nice peach. As for eyeshadow, it's very simple. Always opt for earthly tones like your browns, like a bit of olive and gold. I think a good palette for olive skin tone would be the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette here. Very earthly, very bronzy. That works very well for olive skin tone. But of course, if you know me, I always experiment with different eyeshadow colors, so I don't really care. I use blue, purple, pink, whatever, and I think they all look great. But it says here to just stay away from mostly purple. As for lipstick, it says here that you can wear almost any colors except purple and brown. Once again, I don't really care and I still wear whatever I want. But if you want to have the best shade, I would say the best shade would be like an orange. The one I'm wearing right here is this one by Maybelline. It's called Chili Nude from their Creamy Mattes Color Sensational thingy. This is such a gorgeous color. You see how it's like red and orange but a bit nude at the same time? It's so gorgeous. It's my favorite color at the moment. And that's about it for this video. Oh my god, I love... Okay, guys, filming makeup tutorials are not as easy as it seems, okay? It's like you have to make sure the camera's in focus and you have to go really close and then like you have to hold your mirror in a way so it doesn't block the lens. So much work. So sometimes I just rather do a talking video like this. I know a lot of you may not like videos like this, but it's just way easier for me on days when I feel really lazy. So yeah, if you have any other tips that you would like to share with the rest of us olive skin tone babes, then leave it down in the comment section down below. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching once again and I'll see you next time. Toodles!